The air inside the Veterans Memorial Hall was heavy, not with heat or the scent of old cigars like usual, but with an invisible tension that settled between each folding chair like unspoken memories. Dozens of soldiers sat shoulder to shoulder, boots tapping restlessly against the linoleum floor, hands fidgeting with medals and missing wedding rings. Outside, November raged with cold wind and a sleet storm, but in Sadia Broken Bar inside it was stories, shadows, and silence. Daniel Reeds was not supposed to be here. He had come with coffee and a box of second-hand coats for the donation drive. That's all, nothing more. His black hoodie was soaked at the edges, and his jeans bore the wear of long days on construction sites. His 6-year-old son Noah trailed behind him, clinging to the hem of his dad's jacket like it was a lifeline. "Hey, piano man," someone jeered from the front. It was Staff Sergeant Brody, a barrel-chested man with a whiskey laugh. "You look like you used to know the Ivories. Play us something sad up if you remember how." Laughter rippled through the room. It wasn't cruel, just the kind of teasing that soldiers used to carve space around their pain. Daniel glanced at the old upright piano against the wall. It stood there like a relic of a better past. Keys yellowed, the wood chipped and worn. He hadn't touched a piano in almost 7 years. "Come on, Reeds, I heard you used to be somebody before life slapped you down," another soldier called. "Make us cry or laugh, your choice." Noah looked up at him with wide eyes. "A broken bar you can play?" Daniel gave a crooked smile but said nothing. What they didn't know, what no one here knew, was that Daniel Reeds had once played on a grand stage, not for crowds or fame, but for a single person who called him maestro with eyes full of wonder. That person was gone now. That person had died wearing a uniform just like theirs. He didn't want to play, but sometimes, life demands that we break before we heal. And sometimes, a room full of broken men and women is waiting without knowing Ida for someone to say the unsaid, in a language without words. With a sigh that sounded like the first inhale laughter drowning, Daniel pulled off his hoodie, revealing the pale scar running down his left forearm. Every eye shifted. Not a sound was heard as he stepped toward the piano. He sat down. He didn't warm up. He didn't look at the keys. His fingers hovered like they were listening to ghosts. Then he played. It wasn't an own song, not one anyone could sing along with. It wasn't Beethoven or Chopin. It was something only his soul knew. A melody born from memory, love, and unbearable loss. His hands moved not as a performance, but as confession. Every note sounded like footsteps across a hospital floor, like the beeping of a monitor that never stopped, like the click of a metal case being shut forever. The soldiers saw some missing limbs, some missing brothers stared. Some clenched their fists, some closed their eyes. One man, tough as tanks, buried his face in his hands and began to shake. The music wrapped around them like a mother's arms, like a eulogy never spoken, like a prayer whispered after battle. Daniel didn't look at them. He didn't even seem to remember they were there, because in that moment, he was back in the sunlit corner of a living room 7 years ago, where a woman in uniform lay on a couch, her body broken but her smile strong, and her voice had said, "Play for me, Danny. Even if I go a broken bar, keep playing." That was the last time he touched the piano, until now. When the last note fell like a tear on marble, the room was silent. No applause, just the stunned quiet of men who remembered too much and women who couldn't hold it in any longer. Then someone stood up. It was Captain Leela Monroe, her face streaked with tears. She saluted him. "Permission to say a broken bar you just played for the dead, sir." Daniel didn't respond. He simply stood, picked up Noah, and walked out as quietly as he had come in. But the room remained changed, and the piano, once ignored, now sacred,